What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Blue Jays franchise in MLB Now 17, the show. The start in MLB 16, the show. We're here for Game 6 of the 2018 World Series, and the Blue Jays just took a 3-2 lead over the Mets with the last game that they played. We'll see if they can close it out here in Rogers Center, as the Mets are going to be up to bat first. And here in the top of the second, it is going to be Travis d'Arnaud, and that is going to be a passed ball. And it was a walk anyway, so he is going to take the first base. Now that is going to bring up the next batter, which is Ernesto Goldsmith now with 2 outs, and he grounds it to first. And the throw goes to second instead of just going to the plate, and that was a mental error by Justin Smoak, not knowing how many outs there are. And Austin Dean is going to make him pay. Kevin Pillar is going to try to make a play at the plate, but the runner is going to be ruled safe because the catcher dropped the ball. Devin Mesoraco. I thought Russell Martin for a second. I don't know why. I've been watching too much of the actual Blue Jays, even though there's only been 3 games this season. Austin Dean up again here later on in the game, with the Mets still holding a 1-0 lead in the top of the 5th inning. And Marcus Stroman having a pretty decent day. The Blue Jays can't get anything going, it seems. Jacoby Jones now is going to take this one out into right center, or right field actually. And that's going to bring up David Wright, who killed us in the last game, and he's going to get on base here once again. Loading the bases, a good throw home by Dalton Pompey, even though it was offline, stops the runner from going home. And so now the bases are loaded, and this is going to bring up the switch hitter, Neil Walker. And that is not going to be got to by Yongera Solarte, but they are going to get the runner at third because all the runners had to hold up. And for some reason, he was actually the fastest base runner, but couldn't make it back. Yoenis Cespedes is at bat, and this is going to be a wild pitch. And this is a problem that I have with this game in general this year, but on any wild pitch in any game mode, it seems like your second baseman's not covering the base, so if you go there for an out, you're not going to get it. But Yoenis Cespedes would fly out, and that would end the inning. So the Mets have squandered a couple base runners, and that is going to bring up Cesar Hernandez here in the top of the, or the bottom of the 6th, excuse me, and he's going to get whaled by that one. Jacob deGrom having a good day so far, but it makes a mistake right there with his location. Now 2-2 count. Dalton Pompey with 2 outs. Gonna ground it, and it goes past Lucas Duda at first base. Runners on first and second now, but there are 2 outs, so the Blue Jays cannot make a mistake right here. Jose Bautista now in a 1-2 count, and he's gonna lash that one out into left field. Thought about sending the runner home for a second, but that ball traveled a little too fast, although the throw was way offline home, so he probably should have sent the runner home. Did not think about it in time, though. Now Yongera Solarte, full count. What's going to happen here? He is going to take a bases-loaded walk, and so the Blue Jays get one back here in the 6th inning, as that was off of Hansel Robles, who came in to try and get that final out. He would get it eventually. Now Justin Smoak up with a 3-1 count, and he's just going to take that one, as this is Chavez in the game right now. I believe this is Ricardo Chavez or Richard Chavez, one of those two. I actually forgot. I edited this video a few hours ago. So anyway, now I was going to bring up Kevin Pillar, and he has not had a good year, but he is going to take that one into the gap, and you need to get the hits that matter the most if you're going to get hits at all. So I'm glad that he decided this was a good time to contribute on offense, and now that is going to bring up Troy Tulowitzki, who they are going to walk to load the bases and bring up Cesar Hernandez, and we'll see if he can get anything going. With the bases loaded and no outs, 1-2 count for him, and that one was right over the middle. He could have cranked it, but he doesn't quite have that amount of power. It is going to serve as a sacrifice fly. Even Justin Smoak could score from that deep, although it is pretty close. He is ruled safe at the plate. I thought he could have gotten tagged, but it was deep enough to score him. Anyone who was potentially slower might not have made it, but I think it was a pretty deep ball. Anyway, Dalton Pompey up now, and he is going to ground out. That one was right over the middle, but he just could not get underneath it enough to lift it out into center field, making a fly ball. Now Kenley Jansen in the game to face Lucas Duda in the top of the 9th inning, and of course, a short porch home run. In any other ballpark, that probably would have been caught pretty easily. And Kenley Jansen, that is not a good sign considering that he's struggled in the World Series before. But now it's the bottom of the 9th, and the Blue Jays got to get something going. Kevin Pillar flew out, and now Troy Tulowitzki is up, and he is going to get this one to go up the middle. And it's time to bring in Jared Dyson. This is the kind of guy you acquire for a situation like this, and he is going to take off running, but he doesn't get a good jump, and he is going to be tagged out at second. That's another complaint, is that runners with high stealing it doesn't really matter what your steal rating is. It seems like it just depends on your jump, which is kind of irritating. But Cesar Hernandez now is going to single, so that continues this game, even though there are 2 outs now. Josh Donaldson with a 2-1 count, and he is going to lift that one out into left. It's going to hit off of the warning track and up against the wall, and the runner is not going to score. He's going to be held at third, but Josh Donaldson is going to get in at second with a risky play, and that's going to bring up Dalton Pompey with a 2-2 count, and he lifts that one out in the middle. This is going to tie the game, and the Blue Jays are sending Josh Donaldson home. The throw goes to the relay man at second, and they are not going to get him. The Blue Jays win their second World Series in 3 years on a walk-off 2-run double, I guess, for Dalton Pompey. I actually think it was a single, but he is going to drive in the winning runs, and the Blue Jays take the series 4-2 and win the 2018 World Series. That is their 4th in franchise history after the back-to-backs in the 90s and the 2016 title. They are now champions once again, and that is going to put a wrap on the 3rd season of this franchise. Now, obviously, if you have not already heard, the OSFM rosters for MLB 17 will be coming out this weekend, I believe Saturday evening, and I will be starting a new franchise pretty much as soon as they come out. However, I do think that I'm going to be posting this once in a while, maybe some Sims gameplay here and there, definitely a couple more playoff runs, because I think this team was really building towards something special. And if I had had more time to record and upload, which I definitely do now, I'm more scheduled. I have a better time management than I did before, so I have more time to pump this stuff out than I did last semester. So I'm going to try and continue this series at least once in a while, like I said. Not the most consistently. I'm definitely going to be focusing on the new franchise, which will be revealed tomorrow evening whenever the OSFM rosters come out. So that is going to do it for the 3rd season of this, but I plan on having more. And it was a successful run in MLB 16 into MLB 17 for these first 3 seasons. It's going to be interesting to see the direction that this team takes going forward, and what a way to end this World Series. It wasn't a very dramatic first World Series for us. We were an undefeated team in the playoffs and set the wins record. Arguably the greatest season in the history of baseball by the Blue Jays in 2016. But this was a much more compelling year as the Blue Jays really faced adversity. They were a 500 team in the first half, had to make a few trade deadline acquisitions, give up some good players to get players to fill holes on the team, and it was really a successful playoff run by the Blue Jays as they faced adversity several times and came back from it. They've had a couple closeout games that were really, really tough. The Indians wouldn't go away in Game 4 of the ALCS, and New York had the lead going into the bottom of the 9th, and Yuris Familia had a 8.44 ERA in the playoffs. Just not a good run by him. And again, it's a struggle for Kenley Jansen in the playoffs. He did have a pretty low ERA, but he gave up a crucial home run. It really could have cost us the game and maybe the series. But I'm pretty happy with the overall performance of the team in this game. Dominant performance from the pitching staff throughout the playoffs. Anyway, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more MLB 17 The Show content. Leave a like if you enjoyed. See you next time.